Well, the South African Social Security Agency is once again under scrutiny. Millions of recipients of the 350 Rand temporary COVID-19 grant have yet to receive their money for the month of March. The agency, on the other hand, assured South Africans it's working around the clock to resolve the situation and make payments. We're joined now by Homocho Diseko, the SASSA national spokesperson, to tell us exactly what caused this delay. Homocho, thanks so much for joining us this evening. Can you just clarify for us what caused the delay?
Thank you very much, Faith, for the opportunity to clarify this matter. What happened is that by law, the temporary disability grant is a temporary grant by its very nature. And it takes about 6 to 12 months. So after that period for which you have been given, it has to be reapplied for. Now, during the lockdown, particularly the hard lockdown, we had a problem because we were avoiding situations where we could see our people face to face. So as a result of that, what happened is that the Minister of Social Development, Ms. Lindiwe Zulu, facilitated a legal process in which she could assist grant recipients of this grant so that they could not be forced to go to an office but still receive their grants. So in other words, they received their grants without even renewing their grants themselves. So that period has expired in, I think, in January this year. Things went back to normal. We went through the hard lockdown, and it was, an easier situation for grant recipients to come to our offices. So at the moment, we expect grant recipients who are affected by this problem to come to our offices and apply for this grant. Now, in terms of the 350 grant, the COVID grant in January this year was the end by law, and in February, on the 11th, we received an instruction that we've got to extend it by 3 months. Now, we extended it on the 13th of February, and that was after our systems were closed. We had to reopen them to facilitate this process. Now, the biggest problem with the 350 grant is the fact that when we reached the end of March, which was the end of the financial year for government, we had to put in place a system, where a process where we consult with Treasury and other related government departments along our
Yeah. Homocho, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time with this, but is it true that various administrative measures had to be taken and various administrative implementations needed to happen, which is exactly what led to the delay? In other words, the tasks that was to be performed were delayed in themselves, and that's why we found recipients not receiving the money for the period of March and April. Is that the case?
To go straight to the issue, when you've got funds that you have not used by the end of the financial year, you've got to do a special application to Treasury to say, Treasury, can you please roll over these funds? You've gone through that process, and are at an advanced stage where those funds are going to be used now in the new financial year, because these funds we're talking about are funds from the previous financial year, which ended at the end of March this year.
Yeah. So when will people be paid, Homocho? When will recipients receive their relief?
The recipients who are affected by this problem, who have not been paid for March and April, are going to be paid definitely at the end of April this year. That is the guarantee that we can give our grant recipients.
Homocho, we'll leave it there. Homocho Diseko, who's a SASSA national spokesperson, giving us a little bit of insight in terms of exactly when will people receive their 350 COVID-19 relief.